Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Quan, and I'm back. It's almost that time, playoff time, and I know you guys just can't wait to get it started. But first, before we get into that, I gotta let you know what happened last week, week 13, that sets up all the matchups during the playoff that starts this week. Okay, now, first matchup we're gonna get into is Too Hot for TV versus Ballers. This wasn't much of a matchup. Even the prediction kind of just let you know, okay, let you know who's going to win, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but Ballers comes away with the victory in this one, 125 to 94. Not sure if there was much more that Too Hot for TV could have done. Needed about another 31 points. Tried to make a nice move with Derek Carr, throwing him in the lineup. Breeze has been kind of, you know, inconsistent, but Breeze came through with almost 30 points. Ted Ginn comes up with 22 points. I don't know. This game could have been a little bit maybe different, you know. If only, Too Hot for TV wouldn't have left points on the bench. Both of these teams did, but Ballers didn't leave as many points and comes up with the victory. Okay, now in the next matchup, we've got hashtag Colts Nations going up against the Blue Wall. Okay. The prediction was kind of the same in this one like the last matchup. It kind of showed you who the clear winner was going to be, but we all know that any given Sunday, anything is possible, okay? Looks like the prediction was just about right because the Blue Wall, he came through with the W on this one, 107 to 66. Now, as far as points left on the bench, it looks like Colts Nation could have probably played Brian Hoyer, quarterback for the Texans versus, who did he play? Jay Cutler. But Jay Cutler's been playing pretty good. You just never know. Plus Hoyer was going against a tough Buffalo defense. Seemed like the good move to play, any quarterback who's playing up against San Francisco nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Their defense sucks. But they held Jay Cutler to only 7 points. And let's see what else he could have done. He had Hoyer on the bench. Doug Alwyn was on the bench. Matchup could have been a little bit different because I don't know what to say about that. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. I don't know if he would have had enough points to come out the winner, but it would have been a little closer matchup, okay? Now, for the next matchup, we have going up against Rattlesnakes. And this week, the Rattlesnake shake doesn't work. And the snake gets whooped 100 to 92. Now, as you can see, this matchup was kind of close, okay? Was predicted to win. Rattlesnakes was within 8 points. 8 points. Now, where the mistake happened, because Rattlesnakes could have won this one, he had Antonio Brown on the bench. And as we all know, Antonio Brown went off last week. He's jumping on the goalpost, padding, grabbing security guards. He had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Enough said. Enough to really be said, you know what I mean? Well, let's move to the next matchup. We all know what's going on with that one. Comes out with the victory. Next matchup, we have Who Gon' Check Me, who's been blazing on the scene this year in Fantasy League. Now, he goes up against Show Me the Money. And if any of you have been paying attention, this has been kind of a gimme. I'm a little disappointed in Show Me the Money. I know they're into fantasy football quite a bit, so obviously I know They, probably kind of busy taking care of other things, whatever. But if we do this next year, you got to be a little bit more involved. Okay? Now, who gonna check me? Destroyed. Show me the money in this one. He was already predicted to destroy him, and Show Me the Money did get 5 more points than he was expected to, get, or was projected, I should say. But damn, who gonna check me? Got about 61 points more than what he was projected. Like I say, he destroyed Show Me the Money. The final score was 174 to 68. That's what, about almost 110. You know what I'm saying? Point margin of victory. Not quite 110, but wow, maybe like 106, somewhere around there. But anyway, now in our final matchup, we have that Dirty South versus Dallas Wins. And both of these teams had problems with their scoring. Okay? The only one that really kind of like went off, I'd say Dallas Wins. He had Andy Dalton, got him 26 points, which is a good amount of points, that you expect to get from your quarterback. And he also got 15 from Latavius Murray, which is great to get from a running back. On the other side, that Dirty South had Darren Sproles, who went off and did his thing with that big, return touchdown. So he got 15 points, like I said, which is a great amount of points you want to get from your running back. But when you're getting like 0 points from your wide receiver, albeit they might have got knocked out the game and injured, that's true. And I think that happened on both sides, you know what I mean? But when you just got zeros from tight ends and wide receivers and kickers, I mean, there's not really too much to say. And some of this might come because of the, paying attention to the squad, who's ready to play, who's going to play, who's not going to play, who's active, inactive, all of that stuff, you know what I mean? So, Dallas Wins come through with the victory. Didn't do as well as he was projected, but well enough to come through with the victory. 65 to 31. Okay, now, as far as the standings, this is where we ended up. Okay, as of the end of week 13, in first place, who gonna check me? Holds on to that spot despite his losses for this week, and especially to being 3 in a row. The only losses this week he got at the end of the year, you know what I'm saying? Ends up, well, I'm sorry, not losses. He had a 3-game winning streak. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, he's in first place with a record of 10-3. In second place, we've got the Blue Wall with a record of 9-4. In third place, also with a record of 9-4, we've got Ballers 24/7. In fourth place, with a record of 8-5. In fifth place, with a record of 7-6, Dallas Wins with the victory this week. Now, in sixth place, even though he had a loss this week, he played well enough throughout the season and had enough fantasy points scored on other opponents to make it into the playoffs. I'm talking about that rattlesnakes, the rattlesnake shake got you close enough to be in the playoffs. In sixth place, record of 7-6. Okay, now in seventh place, just missing the playoffs, and maybe with a victory this week, they might have squeaked through. Too high for TV, with a record of 7-6. With a record of 7-6 as well. In eighth place, hashtag Colts Nation. So either one of these teams could have probably made it if they had won this week. So now, in ninth place, we've got Show Me the Money with a record of 2-11. And in 10th place, that Dirty South with a record of 1-12. Now, going into week 14. It's championship time, baby. Playoff time. Let me let you know who's playing this week, okay, and what's going down. Okay, now having the privilege of being the number 1 team and the number 2 ranked team affords you to have the week off. You know what I mean? You get to sit at home and watch your opponents tear each other apart and formulate your plan on how you're going to come home with the victory in week 15. Okay, now, with a bye week, number 1 team in the league, who gonna check me? Sit back, relax, bro, okay? Now, in second place, we've got the Blue Wall, like I stated. You on a bye week as well, so sit at home and relax and watch the rest of the teams tear each other apart, okay? Now, the number 3 team and the number 6 team are going to go at it. So that means Ballers is going up against Rattlesnakes again. And I think during their matchups, I think Baller won one, I think Rattlesnakes won one. So this is going to be a good matchup. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen here. Now, and in the second matchup for this week, we've got number 4 going up against number 5 Dallas Wins. This should also be a good matchup. Both of these teams at times have, destroyed their opponents. So I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. Okay? So far in the matchups, we've got a couple people who are on the board. Okay? In the matchup between and Dallas Wins already has 11 points. Okay? He's projected to win by 4 points. Okay? And in the matchup between Ballers and Rattlesnakes, Ballers is already on the board with 12 points versus Rattlesnakes 2 points. And as of right now, Ballers are projected to win by a large margin. So, I say look at your matchups, everybody. See if there's anything you can do to take advantage of any matchups going on in the league. And I wish you all luck. And I will see you next week to let you know who made it to week 15, which is like week 2 of the playoffs in our league. And hey, I'll see you all then. All right, peace.